Welcome back to Open-Minded Conversation with our host and friend. Some of you want to know our names, so today we're going to introduce our name. First of all, we're going to go on my left hand to go to the young lady here. So can you please introduce your name?
I'm Sharon. A single mom of one. My sister, we want your name, Sharon. We just want your name. We don't do that many children you're burning. We don't do that many children you're burning. I'm a virgin, huh? I told that me. Have you got a Valentine? I have a Valentine.
And then my name is Apos, and I'm a mother of 4, and I'm a hairdresser.
4.
I'm a chef. I'm a woman of all.
She's a jack of all trades. All round. Jack of all trades.
The best.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about the best, but
that's because you want lunch.
So we go on my right hand side and we see our beautiful
Megan.
Okay, Megan.
What is that?
My name? Well, we are.
Yeah, but what do you like?
Megan the stallion. Megan,
yeah. And
I have 2 kids.
Amen.
Oh.
And now we move on to at the end our sister, our big sister.
Yes.
And her name is special. That's why. What's your name?
My name is Auntie Rudo.
Auntie Rudo.
Auntie Rudo.
What are
Not Ruda. Not Radolphine. Not Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. It's Rudo with an auntie at the beginning because I am the more mature side.
Okay. Today we are talking posh.
Oh.
And then, how many children have you got?
Oh, you want to know my children?
Well, we all mentioned our children.
Me, I got 3 lovely kids.
Amen.
2 boys and a baby girl.
Oh,
a princess. A little princess.
So now you all know our names. Today, the topic we're going to be talking about is very important, very sensitive. Especially in our community, Black women in general, even including men, we don't talk about mental health. And there's a lot of people going through mental health. They are scared to talk about it because, our culture and our society is not allowing us to talk about it. The moment you start talking about your mental health, they think you are weak, and we're trying to let everybody know it's okay to talk about it. So I don't know who's going to start off, but we need to kind of talk. So
Sorry.
Okay.
I was just going to say that for me, yes, mental health is very important. I think it's understanding it. We don't talk about it a lot because, to be honest, a lot of us don't understand it. We all have what we think your idea of mental health is. Then you all categorize that person as either they're crazy or you all label them a certain way. But now in this society, you find that your mental health is literally just even you just wanting just a few minutes to yourself, that could affect your mental health. That's why it is now so important, because we live in this rushed life where everything is non-stop. It's now just trying to get to focus with your mind and giving yourself that little peace and quiet. And I think that's what people just need to understand. And if it's lack of knowledge, I think let's just talk about it. But I think it's a very difficult subject. How do you approach someone and say, you know what, I'm losing it? What would you say if I came to you and I said, I'm losing it?
Yeah.
I think it's also, I feel, because I can only speak about what I know. In the Black African community, we just have this built-in resilience that you just keep going. No matter what happens, no matter how you're feeling, no matter how tired you're feeling, you just go without even realizing that that's affecting your mental health. Like, now by force to work until you are literally walking like a turtle because you're so tired, you've hardly seen your children, and you have no idea as well. I think also the other thing is lack of knowledge. Is you don't know what is affecting your mental health. Because you're thinking, I'm just going to work, I'm trying to feed my kids, I'm trying to feed the family in Africa, and that's affecting your mental health. Not seeing your children, that's affecting your mental health. Not having time to have friendships, to have even to go and have a coffee with your friend, that's affecting your mental health. The fact that you go from work, home, that affects your mental health. I think it's lack of knowledge is what will kill our people.
And Megan, what do you think? Because you have a different experience about mental health, because you English and born in this country, so your mental health is probably different from what we are thinking of mental health. So what do you think?
I think that it's a serious thing, first of all. I think a lot of people do take it lightly. Like they, I think it depends. Like, it depends how you think about things. If you're open-minded, you can sort of like, when someone's speaking to you, like what you're trying to say is like you're trying to be the strong people, not really take on mental health. So when someone comes to you, you automatically think how you would think about the situation, going, snap round out of it, get yourself, just get up and get, keep going, and that is, it's easier said than done when you're in that situation crisis. So I feel like the response that people get, this is why people don't go out there and say things, because the response they're going to get. If I'm going to go to someone that doesn't really understand it, or one of those, I wouldn't say strong and weak. I think it just depends what is affecting your brain and mind at the time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, life is stressful. Like you were saying, general life in its day-to-day, work, kids, all of that, you're getting some sort of mental health from that. It don't have to go deeper and go, what's the problem here? You're just suffering because you don't know how to cope with life in general. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I think. I think the speaking about it, I think that is generalised, not just for, you saying like,
African community.
Yeah, you saying African, black people don't want to speak about it, because I think it's generalised. Lots of people don't want to speak about it.
I know we are worse, because it's not because we don't want to talk about it. Right now, I'm going to be working. I work. Like example, like yesterday I start work 6 a.m. until 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And I came back in the house. I have to then cook. I have to then clean. I have to then get the
You're tired.
Bed. And then when I'm tired, and then you just call somebody, today I'm so tired. They go, what did you do? I've been working. So for me, like you said, mental health doesn't have to be like getting abused at home. It doesn't have to be getting like...
It doesn't have to be generalised. Right? Just look at the people that do go to like the doctors to seek something. Yeah. The doctor asks you like, what, where did this... You don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Where did it begin? Most of the people out there don't know where it began.
And this country,
or how it happened.
And this country in general is very stressful as it is. It's very lonely.
Loneliness.
And it's very judgmental world we are living right now.
Competitive.
So, if Megan is doing something, I don't know how Megan did to get where she is. Instead of me to ask Meg, how did you do it? No, I'm not going to ask. I want to then go say,
I'm going to
make up my own story and do it. Let's not, and a lot of people are faking it to cover it up. But then they are dying slowly.
By faking it, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Right? And that is just putting yourself. I mean, I always think that most of these things is being honest with yourself. Right. Once you are capable of being honest with yourself,
that's the problem. A lot of people don't want to.
You want to lie and want to sugarcoat things and try to make things look like better than they are. To be honest, if not everybody is living a good life, or not everybody's got a car, not everybody's earning a lot of money. Sometimes when you're by yourself, it is so good to just tell yourself to say, you know what, Rudo, to be honest, my sister, here you're just lazy. Because if you had done this differently, instead of sitting at home and doing nothing, today you could be affording McDonald's instead of Burger King. If you're honest with it, but if you lie to yourself and say, well, I'm in the situation that I'm in because of this one and this one and this one, then in your head, this now becomes such a big problem where everybody is against you.
Yeah. It's the word
that's all in your head, because the people who are trying to reach out, you are shutting them out because you already are thinking that they're against you. So you are not going to be open for anything that they say because you've already shut them out in your head.
Which is so true. I love it. So true. A lot of people like help, like we're talking about. Ask for help. Ask, and you will get it. And mental health, women, men, African in general, it doesn't matter who. Now we are raising our children in this country thinking we're going to raise them to be strong. They are not going to be as strong as us. Some of them get dumped by boyfriend relationship and they take it to the next level.
Can't go.
I get dumped so many times. I'm telling you, listen, you get there, the next man come in. But this generation, they don't look at it like that.
No.
And I say to young people, if a man dump you, listen, show them you are worth that. Is there
that you can do better?
Yeah, like, look at that. That's a situation that's happened in someone's past. Not that's just an example, but it could have been any situation in their past. We're getting like 5 years down the line, and now we're suffering with mental health, thinking, what the hell is it? It could be the trauma
that started
of something that happened way back, like 10 years ago,
and you didn't address
it's triggering something in you to be like, and then you're going through that time to be like, I don't even know what this is. Like, it's just, but it's there because it's covered. Because that's what we've done. What we've done is swept it under the carpet. Didn't talk to anyone about it and carried on.
Exactly.
Instead of speaking about the matter with people that love you and maybe might not understand you or understand what you're going through, but people that love you will understand you.
I think when you speak to people that love you, there is always a form of judgment there, a little bit, and you can always take it like, what does she know? She should know my struggles or whatever. I think if you speak to someone who's impartial, someone who doesn't know you, they'll give you advice from an outsider's point of view. Yeah, and it'll always, I think it will always be good advice. It will make you see things from a different angle, and you actually see that actually.
But at the same time, personally, I think somebody who knows you give you advice knows that this is what they're not saying.
Who you are.
In general, they know who you are. They know your strength. They know what they can do to help out. But this is the problem we have. Because
but you see, like what she's put on, like that, like for you would think someone else would be better, right?
Right.
So let's just go for someone who's I don't want to talk to a stranger.
Right.
That's how they think. So then they're not going to seek help.
Right.
Because they don't want to speak to this stranger and tell them, like, your business. Then you think, your business, because then you're telling someone else. Why not just keep it in a circle, like your loved ones? You know what I'm saying? I do think that's how generally people
But that's
think.
a professional. If I go to a professional, like a therapist, right? I say I'm going through some type of depression, mental health, right? And my family don't know nothing about depression.
Right.
And their advice is not going to be very good, is it? Well, but then if you go to a therapist, they'll give you professional help. And they'll give you tools. I'm saying that because I'll give you an example. Years ago, I was living with my mom because you know how African people always think, let's live together, we'll save on rent. But at the same time, I'm a single mom, right? And I'm living with my mom. How am I going to bring a man to my house? Can't do that. This is my mentality. I can't bring a man to my house, right? So now everything I do, every step I make, I have to explain to my mom.
Right.
Who's going to judge me and be like, do you think you should be doing that at this time? Do you not think you should be doing this at this time? And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. I'm trying to do things that are going to make me happy.
Right.
Right. So it got to a point, it got to a very low and dark place. Right. And I had to seek professional help. I had to get, and I think it was God's blessing that I got that help. Because
and did it help you?
It helped me. It helped me a lot, and it helped me look at my mother in a different way. Because for a long time I hated her. I used to think, how come you can't
see? A strong word,
I despise. Maybe despise.
That is a very strong word, isn't it?
In my mental health, I hated her. But afterwards, I was like, hang on a minute. This woman is giving me, the advice is giving me from the perception she's seeing my mental health. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the advice she was giving, even though it wasn't the best advice, it was the best she could do at that time, right? So I hold nothing against her, right? I have a different relationship with my mom now because I appreciate her more, right? Because imagine what she was going through thinking, oh my God, there's something going on with this child. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I can't help.
I don't know how to help her.
Right.
So then that's the issue, though, isn't it? If you are going through something,
but then
she can see that something is wrong, all she can do is say, "Are you okay?" If you say yes, I'm fine.
Yeah,
But what I'm trying to get to is I'm trying to find out at what point what can an outsider, not only your relative, what can an outsider do if you are not ready to talk?
No, but she said to me, "Do you think you need to talk to someone professional?" That's the best advice she gave me.
Give it to you. Which is
She couldn't give me the advice, but she said to me, "Could you not? Is there someone that you think you need to talk to?"
But then you see,
I don't know whether my mom was giving that advice because she herself is a health professional. She probably saw the signs, but maybe thought, "How do I tell her that I think you are actually going through some mental health crisis?"
So let's say that you are in that state, and then I come to you, and then I say, "Look, why don't we deal with this?" And then we're like, I'm now suggesting what I think, I'm like, so what is the problem? And then you go, oh, the problem is at the moment, let's say you don't have any food. I go, okay, well, look, I've got some money. We'll go and do the shopping. I'm not coming with, let's suggest that you talk to somebody because I'm not a health profession.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously not going to go, oh, do you need to talk to someone? I'm thinking maybe it's just light things like maybe you don't have money or you just don't have time or you're just tired. So I will come and give exactly. So I'm coming through and giving you those options on that level.
Yeah.
But how then is just a normal person without any health care profession, how would I then be able to see that, you know what, this is now at a whole different level. This person is now either getting to rock bottom. How do I help?
Yeah. So this is what she said. Her personal one is she need an outsider. And if the outsider helps her, and that works for her.
Right.
And personally, I don't need outsider. I need my friend. I'm right now can say I don't have mental health. Maybe I don't know what is mental health to be.
You're still functioning.
Right. I'm still trying to find what is mental health.
Yeah.
Right. So for me to get rid of my stress, for me to talk, release my pain, is I pick up the phone. Hi, Auntie Rudo, Auntie Sharon, and you know what? Today, these children are driving me crazy. So when I talk and me and you talk and I let it out.
That's general though. I feel like that's general. Like,
That's
as
general.
a mother,
That's everyday stuff.
That's every mum.
Yeah.
Right? That sort of stuff, like them sort of stuff I see as like, that is, that could send you into a
dim.
But that's general. You get on the phone to your friends, you're like, oh my God, these kids today, and or this struggle, that struggle. Mental health is a lot deeper. I know they will have parts in it,
right?
Like what's going on, but it's deeper than
but if I give you an example, in that time that I was telling you was a dark place, right? All I wanted to do was just to be alone in the dark, right. So then I did have chats with my friends, like on WhatsApp or chat and stuff like that. I'm hearing my friends going through the daily stuff, like daily struggles and everything. I'm thinking, how do I tell them that right now I really want to kill myself?
Right.
How do I tell them that? Knowing my friends, right? I know 2 of them wouldn't be able to handle it.
Right. Yeah.
How do I do that? Because you have to remember. Do you remember
that position? Them even saying, they're ringing you just saying, "Oh, my kids," and to you, that's minor. That's actually minor to you right now. Where you are.
But you know what? In that, sometimes I think I even remember one of them calling me and saying, "Oh my God, I'm so broke, blah blah blah." I ended up giving them advice in my depression. I was giving them advice about, and then I'd get after the phone call, I'd go back into bed and cry myself to sleep. So it's difficult. It depends on your personality. Like you're saying, you need your friends, right? And you probably have a network where you can go and vent and be like and you're open and you're very transparent to your friends, right? But there's some people, right, in relationships who will be like, I can't tell Akosi that because right now what she's going through, if I tell her this, it's going to make things 10 times worse. And for you, even in your mental state, that's the worst thing you could do because then it's 2 of you now.
Yeah. And that's what we need to learn. Not just kids, marriage. In marriage, people, I know we love women. And men in this country, when we come here, it's stressful. They don't want to help women to take care of the children. Financially, they want them and the women to do 50-50. And then with the childcare, they want them to do 100%, then they do nothing. Women are going through and they can't talk to their partner. They're going to talk to their family members. They go, oh, you can do it. Have a way. And then they come to my salon and you just say, oh, how are you? And that's when they let it out. Most of them cry. And then they say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What did I do? As I know myself, I could maybe say something wrong. They say, no, you go, it's not you. But this is what we're trying to make it. Women know that it's okay to talk to your husband. It's okay to tell him, no, I can't do this. It's okay.
I think it's
if he listens though.
This is what I'm trying to say. The advice you want to give people is like, for instance, some people might not be able to go to their husband. Some might not be able to go to their
because maybe the husband is the one that's triggering the mental issue. So if I was you, I would look for either Auntie Rudo instead, because if he ain't listening, you need to find somebody else.
It's a hard one. It's a hard. And as someone who's been through it, you are the best person to kind of like let us know the sign of it. What
you stop being, like how when you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you do even put a little bit of lip gloss and some type of self-care, right?
Right.
You stop doing that. You're thinking, I don't care.
Right.
You do one day at home. Okay. You don't go out.
Right.
Even go to the shop.
Okay.
You send someone.
And it's important.
It comes one day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks.
It's very important.
And that's another thing with mental health in a sense. Like a lot of people, like humans are generally like we are going to have our down days, and it's figuring out if it's a down day or if there's a problem there. Because you could have 3-4 down days and you think, oh my God, there's a problem here. Like, and then you think, and then you're like, snap out of it or whatever. It just really does depend on
if you can snap out. But if you see yourself thinking, you start telling yourself things like, I don't really need to do the food show. I do it online. Start telling yourself so that you don't leave the house. You start secluding yourself. Isolation is the biggest mistake you can make if you're feeling.
That's what you do.
That's a sign.
Another thing is, when you go into that hole, you don't want to put your burdens on someone else. That's how people feel. That's why I do think a lot of people don't speak about it, because they go, they're all happy and whatever, or they, I don't want to go and stress them out. But the real thing is, if you do go, they are going to, I'm not saying like pull you around, but if you speak to someone that you trust and that ends up having a laugh about it, you do sort of gradually knock yourself round about it. If you have that, that special someone who can get you through it.
Yeah, but don't you think sometimes tough love can solve the problem?
Not always.
I definitely don't think with mental health tough love.
I would push over the edge.
Then you're like, you don't understand me. You understand what I'm going through. You're just, that's the
exact case.
You don't understand. Tough love in them situations.
I do tough love in every second. Maybe that's why.
We
people
know.
Don't come to me for
any help.
Yeah, because
you already know. Right. You know what it is, right? In your friend group, you know who's going to give you the best advice about sex, who's going to give you the best advice. If I know,
that's your subject, isn't it?
I know. You know who to go to. Like
my sister is one of those people that I know if I want to talk anything about finances, oh my God, she'll sort me out right quick. Right. You understand? She will
money in your account.
Right. She will teach me how to
save. What's your account number?
Doing the school run, she did doing the school run, and I'm thinking, bloody hell. And then there's some people who I really fancy going out, going some. They'll be like, I actually know a place. Let's go. Right? There are people in my friend group.
And which one am I? Which one?
She's the one that will tell you, Auntie, don't be silly. You're a big lady. Put your big pants on. And get up there and
she can back on me as well when she
sees that you're about to cry.
Sharon, joking. Like me, when she starts, right, I go quiet, and then she thinks, okay, So do you want to go to that nightclub then? Is that what will make it
So did you
better?
want-
She's retracting what she was saying.
So let me just try and clarify something. So like you were saying that there was a point when I don't think you just come to the point where you think, I want to kill myself overnight.
No.
So this is something that has
Gradual.
been brewing for a long time, because I think mental health is not something that can just be triggered suddenly.
No.
So let's say, like for me, for example, there's so many things that happen in my life, and when I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, damn, why? How come this? And I'm looking at last year, I'm looking at the previous year. I'm going, even though I tried this and I tried this and I tried this, it's still not working. And then I'm questioning myself so much, like year in and year out, about probably the same thing. And then in the end, I'm thinking to myself, I can't deal with this. No matter how much I try, this just doesn't seem to be working.
Right.
So this is now all years and years of
But do you just stop there and think?
at this point, for me, I was thinking when I'm about to have, if I'm to have a breakdown, like I think the last time when I felt like I was really on the edge, I started having ideas of driving off the motorway, but my kids had to all be in the car because I was not going to leave this world without my children.
Right.
Do you understand? Because for me, maybe that's where the mental health is.
Yeah.
Is that I have been there for my children. I have provided for them. The last thing I want to do is be selfish enough to kill myself and leave my
leave them
children
with them.
without that help that I was giving them.
But then-
And for me to get to that decision is because the people around me would have shown me that when I'm there, they can't even do the little.
Right.
So when I'm not there, I know that my children would not even get the same level that I'm giving them. So for me, if at that point I was like, my car with my kids in there, and we just drive off. And then I thought to myself, oof, and then a Christian, when you're a Christian, then you think, ooh,
Yeah, why do I even think like that?
can't even. But you know what I did in the end? I called 2 people up. I said, guys, let's meet, locally. Let's go eat.
Right.
We ate. It was actually during the week, so all the clubs were literally empty.
Yeah.
We ate until being a fat kid, you're eating kind of has got some kind of therapy. It does. We ate.
When you're sad,
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
we have bottles of red wine with chocolate cake. That's not a good mix.
Right.
And then after that, we decided to go into a club. The club was empty. But you should have seen me dancing.
Like, no,
I was dancing like the people in the 60s when they were playing with the daisies and that was me.
Slowly.
Everything was like, whoa. But I was so happy. So up until even now, I know that if I say to you, let's just go drink and dance, my mental health is there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, let me pick it up quick.
Right.
But now, that's because I now know
Yourself.
Right.
so I'm quick to go, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go drink,
You
and they
know
won't even
what's best
ask.
for you to
Yes,
get out of it.
exactly.
So you can pull yourself
So
out of it.
yeah.
But some people can't. Like
Yeah,
see,
for me, yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people that
Not
are like
just
you,
you,
Yeah.
right?
not just you, but a lot of people that are like you. So I have this explanation about it, right? So you're going into a mental health. You know when you're going in because you basically feel like you're drowning and you're just trying to stay above water. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're just all you're trying to do is keep yourself above there. Yeah, you're still getting like negative thoughts, and you still, but you're not taking it on.
Yeah.
You see, when you start like it's coming lower now and you can't breathe, then you get the worst negative thoughts, saying like the car, and then that's when people say they drop into the hole. Then you get the
For me, I think my thoughts were what were my worst nightmare. My own thoughts. So I needed validation that what I was thinking was wrong, and how I got there. So I had to go to someone professional. She was very dismissive, first of all. So on the phone, because she had to assess me if I really needed the help. And I was like, listen, I really want all of this to be over. I just want to die. Right. And then that's when she thought, okay, right, you need to come in. But something happened and it had to be another woman. It was a black woman from Uganda. That woman helped me.
Shout out to that woman. We need more
That
women
woman
like that.
helped me. She not only helped me have tools that if I felt like I was going into like a dip, I needed to do certain things. Right?
Yeah.
She told me those things. she told me how to speak to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
She said to me, no matter what happens, your blood is your blood, right? From talking to you, I can see the kind of person you are. You're not the kind of person that thinks, oh, they're my family, they're the ones who are stressing me out, so I need to leave them. Family is important to you. She picked that up. Yeah. She taught me, she gave me tools that I use today. If I find myself getting into a state, I start to think, oh, I need to go and do this. And I go in. Journaling, funny enough, writing down things, right? And creating a sanctuary for yourself, because, this is all bricks and mortar, right? It can all come down. You have to go to a place where you yourself know no one can take it away from you. If it's going and having a drink with somebody that helps you, do that. If it's going and sitting under a tree,
do that. Yeah. And we need to take our women with us. For me, that is what and this advice goes for me myself personally. I don't have time to sit down and think about my mental health, because I'm trying to deceive myself by working, by running around, by covering it up, by doing a lot for myself. That's me. So therefore, at the end of the day,
does it work?
It does work.
So you don't have time to focus on your mental health because you're constantly going.
But the thing is to stay busy.
Yeah,
keep yourself busy and that's not having mental health anyway.
Yeah, but then that's the thing, though. I mean, what if you think loneliness? Yeah. But if we're saying that if you're lonely, right? If you were out there and you were hustling and doing stuff, you wouldn't sit and think, "Oh, I'm so lonely." Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. So it is good to be out there and be
to a degree.
Yes, but you find that you don't have to take 5 minutes of your busy life. If your busy life is working for you and you are not busy just because you don't want to focus or you're trying to run away from the fact that you are actually losing it, then you need to stop the covering it up. But if you're just a genuinely busy person, then go on. That means that you don't have time to be thinking.
Definitely.
But so having said this, is it true? You know what they say? What they say is that, is it the devil makes work of what?
Idle hands.
Yeah. So does it mean that if you're idle, if you're more likely to be depressed or have mental issues than somebody who's on the go?
If you're idle and isolated, the devil will work on you.
So this is where the mentalness, but then this is where the mental health comes in.
That's part of mental health. But there are things that have genuinely done something to your brain for you to have mental health issues.
And then
it could be anything.
It could be anything.
Let's just say, for example, mums, when you first have a baby, what's going on in your body, you can't seem to handle your emotions. You can't seem to, and then that's why a lot of people do go into like
postnatal depression,
and that is because that's something I think you can't really handle in a way. I mean.
It's new,
especially like a first time mum. I think even if you have got a good
it's not a time, even 3-time mum.
If your body just can't seem to handle the hormones and
changing,
then that's it. You're triggered and you've gone, and then it's the whole like you've got this like it's
supposed to be bonding with your child, and you can't because
it's such a hard and like it's. Mental health is so serious,
and
it's also very
serious,
and that's
so difficult.
It's also very broad
as a community.
But do you know what? I always think that with them. I'm going to talk about the Black community here because purely sometimes I always think. Do you know during the slave times? Do you know what the slaves used to do? They used to sing, even if they've been beaten up and whatever, they would be picking cotton whilst they're singing.
Even whilst they were being beaten.
There's something about singing. So you find that even now, when I call my friends and I say my problem, we laugh about it because we laugh at our own problems, which I always think is the one greatest thing that we have. The fact that we see our problem, if we can't come up with a solution, we laugh about it to bring. So let's say your blood pressure had shot up. You call, we laugh about it, your blood pressure then comes down. Now you're breathing more normally, and hopefully at this point you can now focus and say, okay, so the problem was, it's not as big as I thought it was before, hence, and hoping that this would then stop you from jumping over the edge. That's why I think it is always good to have a network, not even a network, maybe just one person.
A good network of friends.
Or even just one. You don't even need a network, but you could just have just one point of call.
I've got one, like, obviously I've got very supportive family, and I've got, like, you know, my friends are very supportive, but I mean, you always go to, like, the one who knows exactly what you're going through, pulls you out of it, makes you laugh at the same time, then you pick up the phone, like, you're still in your problem, but you're just like, that was so nice.
I can handle it.
Like, she really helped me. Like, unless a lot of people might, like, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people might not have that.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes to. They where they don't speak about it, they end up in such deep mental health.
Yeah.
That then they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh my, you know, then it's a freak out.
Yeah.
Because that now, it's like, now you probably need to take professional advice.
Can I say one last thing? Yeah. If you just think that the mind is such a powerful thing, it can make you believe something, right? If you allow it. So if you protect it, the same way you protect your heart when you've been
your children,
if you protect your mind, because I'm always telling my sister this, you cannot pour from an empty cup. That means that, you know, like how in a plane they say to you, before you give the next person the put one on yourself first. If you think about that philosophy, you need, if you are going to be a good friend, a good mother, a good girlfriend, a good anything, a good employee, you have to be of sound mind. One, so you need to protect your mind.
True.
Yeah.
You need, and that means the things you watch, the things you see, the things you expose yourself to, you need to protect yourself.
Yeah. And me,
really,
and I just say something, my enemies are the ones keeping me going. Because these enemies, you know, sometimes enemies are powerful, but we don't understand. We always see them and take them as negative. My enemy, if right now, like, you're going to see that Sarkozy is talking about mental health, Sarkozy is going to break down to mental health. It get me out of it. I'm thinking, oh my God, and Rudo is saying I'm going to be break. So I'm actually going to prove it right. I'm going to snap myself out of it and prove it wrong. And that keeps me going. Right, personally. So enemies around us, we shouldn't take it negative. You should be taking positive and get something out of it.
That is very difficult to do. If the enemies, well, enemies, I don't know if it's the right word, but if the triggers are coming from those that are close to you. You know, there's nothing as distressing as trying to think that, Akosi, you are my friend. Why would you even want to break me like that? That is the one thing that can bring you down faster than having the milkman out there telling you that, you know, you're a fool.
It's true, but for me,
there's some enemies that hurt. Exactly. And they're the ones who affect your mental health the most, because you expect them to know you so well that even when you're falling, they should catch you before you even start falling. But they're the ones who then sit back and go, oh, I think she's going through something, and they don't offer any help. And you think, so what good are you to me?
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's where that's saying you cannot pour from an empty cup.
So who's got the empty cup?
They probably have the empty cup. How do they feed into you if they're empty and broken? Two broken people can't fix each other.
So out of the whole family, everybody's empty.
This is what I'm saying. That's when you go to someone professional. If my trigger, say for example, I was molested as a child, right? And then I find out that maybe, so when my sisters or even my cousins, they were also molested. Me speaking about it is triggering them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Right. And you are going to those cousins and sisters for advice because this thing has happened to you.
But don't you think?
This is why I'm saying that the leaning on the family sometimes can be dicey depending on the family. If the family is strong people, strong-minded people, they will help you. They'll probably even notice the mental health in you before you notice it. But if your family is broken itself, you can't.
Yeah. But don't you think maybe me coming to you, me and you will get the same abuse, and then I didn't know, you didn't know, and then I come to Meg, you know, I'm just getting abused by my husband. And then you go, actually, I'm going through the same with my husband. And then we sit down, we talk. You know what? What is it? What is the signs? Well, maybe we talk about it through. It's like, you know what, this
That's
one
a
going
good
through.
scenario.
Right,
It's a good scenario
right.
if Megan has been abused by her husband. But what if she hasn't?
Well, maybe she can tell me some of the signs. Okay, this is some of the
How?
signs.
She doesn't know.
I never get abused by husband, but I know a lot of people who get abused by husband.
Yeah.
I advise
What
them, my advice is, like example, somebody will come, look, in my household, yeah, my husband financially abusing me. I'm paying this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And I'm advised to the person, listen, what are you benefiting in this relationship?
Yeah.
What are you?
You give your
Your
own
personal
advice because
advice.
you've never been there. So
Yeah.
you're just giving a general advice, like
Right.
what you would say to anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
In any situation,
Right.
not just that situation.
Right,
You still
anyone,
would-
right?
It doesn't matter what the situation is. We all still would have an opinion or advice.
Exactly.
on that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
even if we haven't been there.
We will
haven't
still
done it,
have an
we'll still be
opinion.
like,
Right.
why are you putting up with that? Or, you know, or,
Mm.
well, you know, this is your household.
Mhm.
How do you know, whatever, however you're going to go about it.
Right.
Everyone's got their own, like,
The
advice.
opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only thing is you just don't come with, like you said,
Strong.
yeah, like this judgmental thing. People,
Right.
that's why people don't talk about a lot of things, not just mental health.
Mm.
Yeah, because in this world we're all judgmental.
Yeah,
We
you
judge
know,
each
like,
other. We do judge. Right now we are sitting out probably judging each other by through our head. Who does she think she is and telling me what to do? Who does she think she is and then doing this. It's you judging me. But me saying that what I think doesn't mean I'm judging you. I'm just giving my personal
Personal
yeah, it's
opinion.
advice.
just your
Or
opinion.
personal
not-
opinion.
Because if
You-
you,
you've got
sit
your own
down,
opinion.
if you sit down and you think, where was Okosi coming with? That's self-reflecting. That's
Yes.
another thing.
Right.
That's another tool.
Honest
That's
self-reflection.
another tool that lady
Mhm.
gave you.
Yeah.
If you're honest with yourself and you think, where was Okosi coming from?
Like that.
Okosi never speaks to me like that.
Mhm.
Right.
Then you actually dissect what she
Mm.
said and you think, actually,
Maybe she's got a point.
she's got a point.
But that's you now knowing the people you're talking to.
Mhm.
Because then you
Exactly.
then come, so she would give you like that, and then you speak to somebody else who you think, this one is talking a lot of nonsense because they obviously don't understand the situation.
Yeah.
But then that's you knowing the people you're talking to.
Yeah.
But you have to then reach out to them
The
in
right
order for them to
person.
help you, because
Yeah.
not everybody can tell that you are having some kind of a
Exactly.
something. So it's
Exactly.
always about not always assuming that everybody knows that you are falling or everybody
Yes.
knows that you're struggling, because we don't.
Exactly.
That's very true. That's such a good point, because if you speak to a lot of people who like suffer with mental health, they're actually very happy in front of people.
Yeah.
Very chirpy. You would never know
Mhm.
anything's
They're going
going
through
on
something.
unless you speak about it, unless you're
Mhm.
close. Then,
Mhm.
but other than that, you'll go like, I didn't know she was going through that.
Yeah.
Then you end up like hearing that someone killed themselves or something. You think, oh my god, like I saw them.
I
They
saw
were
them.
really happy. Like
I
Yeah.
saw them.
and that's the thing. People know how to mask it if they can cover it
Yeah.
up. They go away and they're back in their hole. It's like you say, on your own.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
best thing for people to do if they don't have that network or they feel like they can't speak to like their close people, but you need to speak to someone.
Someone.
Professionally,
Yeah,
family, friends.
Someone.
You just need to speak about it because it does help.
Mm.
100%.
Yeah, but then my thing is we should. This is the last one we're gonna talk, and then this one comes to the end of the mental health. Maybe in future we're gonna come back to it because
I
there's
think
a
it's
lot.
so broad.
There is a lot
Yeah.
that's going. There's too much going on, and then we can't cover it up today.
Yeah.
But we're gonna leave it here and then come. But so we need to, as a human being, as friends, as a family, as a community, we should be open. We should
And
be
check in on each
open-minded
other.
and
Check in.
check in on each other and be open-minded to say,
And not be
oh,
judgmental of
just-
someone else's
right,
situation.
right.
Because you
You
don't
know
know
what's
what.
going through.
And that's what they say. You never know what someone's going through. Be kind. all the
Yeah.
time.
So when we are open right now, like we are opening, my mind is okay. You can easily call me now to say, I'm going to kill myself. I shouldn't first go. Why are you killing yourself?
Don't be silly.
Exactly. You're being selfish. I should just listen to you and then help you and then
Can I
ask
help
you,
you?
how can I help you? Instead of me say, don't be silly. What are you doing? You're being selfish.
Yeah.
Those ones are the one pulling people away
Away.
of talking.
Yeah.
So let's be kind and
Each
let's
other.
be supportive of each other.
True.
And today, thank you very much. And this week topic comes to the end. And please let's be kind. It doesn't matter who you are, the gender, the color of your skin, the age group, even our children.
Yeah.
That part to get out from our mental health.
Mhm.
We need to take advice from everybody
Everybody.
around us.
Give your
And
children space to
Space
talk.
to talk.
Yeah.
Our children, they do talk. And that's what we need to learn
Let
as
them.
well.
We need to give them the
Right,
confidence. Yeah.
right. And that's we should allow them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can talk. They'll talk rubbish. And like today, let me make this funny before we leave. We went to church. They were praying and were singing. So Otis was just singing and rapping. So I went, what you do is I'm singing. What you singing?
Which song is
Different
it?
song. I said, but that's not
What
what
you
we're
do?
singing here. And then one of the aunties started, he busted to laugh and said, I thought he was praying.
No, he was speaking in tongues. And no, the Holy Spirit ain't on the boy. He's dropping a beat.
And the Holy Spirit is so thank you guys.